Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I'm back with another project for SpiegelMom Scraps. And so this week we are coordinating with PaperHouse Productions and working with the two kind of products together. And so I've done a lot of the work here off screen because a lot of it is kind of time consuming. So I printed a picture online, which is something that I often do, and used it to cut apart these pieces to piece this boat together. And I am using the Marvelous and the Color Washed collections from PaperHouse Productions. And I found those really cute quote border papers, and I decided to use one of those as the basis of kind of that pole in my boat. So there is some writing and quotes that are written on that, and I think that adds kind of a unique look. And then the bottom of my boat also has kind of quotes and sayings and things. And then this top sail, I'm putting on some dimensional adhesive, so it's going to sit kind of on top of the other one to give this boat some movement. And then what I did is I went ahead and just hand drew in some clouds as well as the waves at the bottom. And then I went ahead and stitched those with some embroidery thread. And I did that off screens because that is such a time-consuming process. And now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing this red line tape and I'm choosing 3 little areas in my sails. And I'm just putting a tiny piece of that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these kind of pinkish peach sequins from the Marbled Joy collection, sequin mix from SpiegelMom Scraps. And I use those to just add some details and some stripes. And I really like how that kind of ties everything, all the elements of the boat together. But it also ties in the colors in my photos. So my photos have that kind of peachish orange color as well as that kind of teal of the water. So the 2 photos that I'm putting with this today are photos of my boys, and when we were in Chicago, they had a place where you could, like you put 25 cents or 50 cents, whatever, in the machine and you get to drive the little boats in the little lake. And so my kids always get a kick out of doing that. So that's what these photos are from. And so what I'm doing over here on the left is just creating kind of a border element. So I've backed my entire layout with some paper from the Color Washed collection. And then I went ahead and added another piece of color washed border on that left-hand side. And then I also threw in some stickers that have those little like bubble-looking things on them. And you'll see that a little better in the close-ups. So then what I went ahead and did is I backed my photos on just some black cardstock. And I messed up and used cardstock that does not cut well on my trimmer. So I ended up redoing that section with some different paper that would fit a little bit better. And so I knew I didn't want a huge title on this layout because it really doesn't need anything. So I spent quite a bit of time struggling with a little embellishment cluster here that I wanted on the top edge of this left-hand photo. And so I used my tab punch and created some tabs with that orange pattern paper that's also in the bottom of my boat. And I didn't like that. So then I wanted to cut it down because I wanted to keep this little phrase. And so I tried several different attempts to make this little tab with the phrase that I wanted work as an embellishment cluster. And guys, it didn't happen. It just was not working. So it stays for a while, and I keep playing, and I keep layering things up and thinking, hey, this is going to make it all better. When in reality, I am sorry to report, it does not make it all better. So instead, I'm going to keep playing around, and I'm going to look around for some other elements and kind of see what I want to add. So I'm looking for some little stars right now that I might be able to put in that little cluster. And so, of course, the stars make it on the page. I've already added some sticker arrows. Right now I still have that quote in there, and it's not going to stay, and you can see already that I'm moving things around, and I'm just not happy with it. I do know that I want this circular element on top of that sail. So if you saw in the beginning the picture that I used to sketch from, you saw that it had a big star right there. So I'm going to use this sticker that says Wild and Free instead. And that's going to kind of serve as a title since I don't really have a formal title. So now I've decided that I'm pulling that little quote out up there on top, and I'm just adding the word happy. And it's a way to bring in the gold element that's on my sailboat and kind of cross that over to the other side of the page. And so it works. And so I'm at least somewhat happy with that little cluster. But I really love how this boat turned out, and adding those kind of sequin details just makes it something a little bit different, along with those hand-stitched details. So I do hope you will stop by and check out both SpiegelMom Scraps and PaperHouse Productions, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!